I'm here. I was running and doing stuff. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Wow, wow, wow. To quote Mike Lindell, wow, just wow, all over the place. Just to give you a taste of. By the way, happy Friday. Welcome to the show. How are you? Hi. I jump right in because I feel like we were just talking a couple of minutes ago. That's wrong of me. Let me chill and invite you guys to settle in and get ready to enjoy the stream today. I have a hot out today. Hello. At like 5:15 my time for lots of reasons, not the least of which is I'm helping my girlfriend shoot something, so I'm playing videographer today. So, priorities being what they are. And of course, we have radio tomorrow, so I'll be able to pick up some of what we're doing, like kind of pick up from where. Why is there a potato? Why not? It's let's just start with what I've been dealing with today in terms of gathering stuff for today's broadcast, because it's drinking from a fire hose day at the HAL SPARKS live stream because of CPAC and the craziness around it, and not just the speakers, not just the Ted Cruz and the Josh Hawley and the Don Jr. and the Kimberly Guilfoyle and the nonsense. No, not just because of course, I guess let me see if I can bring up this. I'll bring up an image just to show you. It's quite lovely. What these folks designed their stage to look like. If you're familiar, they let me see if I can bring this up. There's a thumbs. There it is. I mean, it's hard to even get a grasp. There it is. Whoop. Nope. I'll find it. If any of you saw my Twitter, you saw the image that I posted about. Effectively, they based the stage at CPAC on a Nazi symbol, an Odin rune that Nazis wore. It's like a Luftwaffe kind of a thing. And hi, Blythe, thank you very much. And Wes, thanks for becoming a member on YouTube. I think you might be the first, or one of the first. No, I think Benny Loco might be the first. But you're definitely in the running to be the first, as far as I'm concerned. And in that, by the way, let's just drop in. This is what I was initially going to show you. This is the chat that's going. This is the current live chat that is going on at in terms of CPAC. This is RSBN's Right Side Broadcasting Network. This is their chat. I posted a couple of pictures from today as I was prepping, and there's lots of little nuggets. What's not to like in there? There's the standard praying for our USA. Proud to be a Retrumpican. Sure. The world needs a dose of reason. The movie is going to have a very good ending. I'm guessing they're referencing some. Kevin Sorbo is being interviewed. Let's see. Space Force. People just yelling Space Force. There's Trump 2024. There's Trump 1. There's with Dominion, it didn't matter whether or not they were black. Come on, man, Joe Biden. All right. This is a good one. Jews Max. That's a wow. There you go. Look at it. Thanks for joining, guys. Yay. Oh, Cameron, thanks for becoming a member yesterday. That's awesome. Yeah, I just now have my kind of setup back to abnormal, so I'm now just seeing the stuff that pops up there and all that, and with those things, when those things happen, now I have all those back so I can start seeing stuff again, which is really lovely. So if I missed anything during the down days of the other computer being dead, I apologize. Whoa. Yeah, so where were we? Oh yeah, Jews Max, that's right. Oh, what was I thinking? Oh yeah, yeehaw, that's right. This guy speaks with a forked tongue. Trump won, Democrats cheated. Biden's a puppet. Booyah Biden. There's some people in there who are messing with him. CCP Biden, not my president. Thank you for the 5-dimensional chess moves. That's a good one. Hold on. Wait. Stop. Thank you for the 5-dimensional chess moves. All right. Vote out the useless rhinos. There's also OAN, and that's true. Oh my God, Joyce, thank you. Thank you for the super chat, Joyce. Thank you very much. This is, yeah, good times. So, 100-year MAGA. Honestly, if you're any good at making America, oh, thanks, Rebecca. Thank you so much. If you're any good at this, if MAGA was actually useful, why would you need 100 years to make America great again? What structural change are you talking about that takes 100 years besides, enacting some sort of Jews Max purge, apparently? Dude, we're in the hundreds of millions worldwide, and that's a conservative estimate. Haha. Most liberals walked away from us. They're referencing something, I guess. Is he with Newsmax? Yeah, okay, so there you go. There's some positives in there. Joe Biden is still smarter than what's left of his own base. By the way, in case you think things like Newsmax are going by in their chat room because there's no moderator, there's a moderator coming right now. Hold on, right. How far does it scroll up? In a second. Oh, okay, that's how far it up is. I'll roll this down. Anything, there you go. There's Jan, this one right here. President Trump, Sunday, 3:40 p.m. Eastern. They're in there just posting when they're going to be having stuff in. So, yeah. So there are multiple people who, they're Newsmax, anybody who has a wrench by their name is in charge of making sure nobody scrubs things like Newsmax from the chat. I mean, stuff gets away from us occasionally, but we don't have any working, professional moderators. We just have people who want to help. Bless you, Joyce. Thank you so much. And thank you, Sherry. I signed up yesterday too. Thank you for the laughs while recovering from ear surgery. Thank you. Well, I'll try and keep it down. Or should I be louder? I guess that's the question. So anyways, welcome, guys. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for not being that chat. Oh, Rebecca, thank you. Because sometimes you don't realize how good you got it with your regular chat when you look at this and you're like, oh, and maybe, just maybe, we'll be thin on trolls today because they all jumped onto this, this pile. So let's get on with it, shall we? Let's jump straight to, let's start off with Josh Hawley. Why not? I'm Josh Hawley, a Josh Hawley theme song. Bugga-da-boo, bugga-bip-bip-bugga.
How are ya?
How are ya?
Hello, everybody.
How many people in that audience just went, he's tiny?
Hello, CPAC. How you doing?
I'm relaxed, brother.
Didn't anybody tell you that you're supposed to be canceled?
No, that was young Pharaoh, I think, wasn't it?
You didn't get the memo. You're supposed to ask permission.
Yeah, you didn't get the memo. Did anybody get the memo? Have mummos been canceled as well? Oh, how very sad that the mummos have. Sorry, but I mean.
Before you came here today, it's great to see you.
By the way, they all start with what they loosely think passes for a joke, and they're winners.
It's great to be here among patriots, and I tell you what, can I just tell you, speaking of being
among patriots
canceled, the last 6 weeks, the radical left, their corporate allies, the liberal media have tried.
Why are you pointing at me and the people covering CPAC? Why? This is right. You just pointed right into Right Side Broadcasting's camera.
To cancel me, censor me, expel me, shut me down, stop me from representing the people of Missouri, stop me from representing you.
Nobody gives a shit of you. You don't represent the people of Missouri. You live in Virginia. You're registered to vote at your sister's house. You've never lived there.
And guess what? I'm here today. I'm not going anywhere, and I'm not backing down.
Yeah, what's the big deal? Why wouldn't? Of course, you're a Trumpster. You would, of course, be at CPAC. You think? I'm sorry. You think the people in the quote unquote liberal media who tried to cancel you, which apparently there's no recall effort that they've been mounting against you at CNN, insofar as I know, but whatever. You think any of them give a shit that you're speaking at CPAC?
Not a chance!
Not a chance that anybody actually gives a shit.
Not a chance!
Yeah, keep saying that.
And neither are you, am I right?
Am I right? Come on, people. I'm not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. All of us collectively aren't going anywhere in life. And in, I don't know what it is. You ever feel like you're just on a treadmill? Like, half your day is just retweeting and gabbing memes, about liberals, and the other half of your day is people ignoring your needs and wants on a committee. I mean, honestly, I'm not going anywhere. You guys aren't going anywhere. Take me somewhere, golden statue of Donald Trump.
You're not going to back down. You're not going anywhere. I just want to say to those people who say to
You are me, I am you, we are we, and who are two?
us, oh, you're the past. Your moment has passed. It's over. It's Joe Biden's America now. I just want to say, we're not the past. We're the future. We represent...
Ooh, man. I was not expecting that kind of blowback from saying that conservatism is a dinosaur. I was like this young, virile Virginia man posing as a Missourian is telling you where you get. That's not going to happen.
Represent the future of this country. We represent the next generation of this country. We represent what's coming next. And there is
next. Yes, you do represent what's coming next, as in gotten rid of, as in no longer there. All things that are next. Next. Damn, dude. Pace yourself.
There's no way that we're going to back down. We're not going to back down to the woke mob.
No way.
We're not going to back down to the cancel culture.
Why don't you just walk out on stage and just chuck a bunch of bumper stickers into the crowd and go, Hawley out.
We're not going to be told what we can say or do, but listen.
Yeah, if you want to post child porn, you can do it. Thanks, Cloud Hub or whatever the shit. We're not going to be told that we can't bring a bazooka into an elementary school.
We've got to be honest, and we got to face the
Why start now? I mean, can we honestly address the giant green pixel in the wall behind you that's flashing? I mean, what did you guys pay for this shit?
Challenges that are in front of us, and I tell you what, you know this or you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, you know what kind of challenges there are in life and stuff, or you wouldn't be at a circle jerk in Orlando to watch Ted Cruz and him. You know what the real challenges are. You're not helping people repipe their houses in Texas. You're going, oh shit, we can go to Disney World too.
You know that we are facing a crisis in our country.
Yeah,
This
terrible. This is an awful, awful thing.
Is one of the great moments of crisis in American history.
Is it? Is it? It's right up there with like the Civil Rights era and 9/11 and the Civil War, World War II. I mean, screw the Greatest Generation, right? Am I right? I mean, the Cold War. But please tell me how your asshole that you backed with everything you had, losing an election, is somehow crowbarring the United States into this is 1776 all over again.
We're facing a fight for the republic itself, and we are facing
more the Republican Party, but sure.
An unprecedented alliance of
yes, your party is currently unprecedented.
Radical liberals.
Oh my God, the radical liberals. Radical Chuck.
And the biggest, most powerful corporations in the history of the world.
Yeah. Please, Republicans, please begin to opine on the dangers of giant corporations. Knock yourself the fuck out.
Maybe,
just maybe, they wouldn't be so wild with power if you hadn't given them a completely unnecessary, gigantic tax break that they use to buy back stocks so they have to answer less to the public and their shareholders. Maybe then. Is this regret over the tax break?
They are standing together. You know who I mean.
You know who I mean. Ho do you mean? You know who I mean.
In the history of the world. They are standing together. You know who I mean.
You know who I mean. You know ho. I mean her. I mean she's a hoe. I didn't mean she's a hoe. I mean I'm just saying, Kimberly, you did great. I just want to say that was a great intro and thank you. Did I say ho? Damn it. Can Josh Hawley get through 3 sentences without mispronouncing an easy word? Please God, let the next speaker be Fujibar Maharadin and he has to introduce him.
People like Google, Facebook,
also Twitter.
have you heard of them? Twitter. These companies have more power than any companies in American history, and they're aligned.
No, they don't. They don't. They do not. Facebook, are you kidding me? Any companies in American history. All right.
They're allying with the radical left to try to impose their agenda on this country. They want to run this country, and if we don't do something, they are going to. And
oh my God, can you imagine a country run by Twitter? The thumbs up have it. The bill has been ratioed. Clack. The Facebook committee on the bill shall be called to order. The first order of business is, last year you guys looked so cute. Here's a bunch of pictures of your friends. Whack.
And we've got a word for that. It's called oligarchy.
Oh, do we? Oligarchy. That's when your government is run by people who can only do skateboard tricks.
And that's what we're facing in America right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the idea that the Republicans are suddenly concerned about oligarchy, you don't find that incredibly funny? Please, I'm sorry. There's joy in my heart to hear the Republicans bitching about corporate overreach and oligarchy. Really? And what is it? Sites where you can't get thumbs up. Is it oil companies that poison rivers and streams, kill off fish that we all need to eat and drink, the water we need to drink to survive? Is it those companies he's worried about? Is it the fact that the taxpayer is on the hook for cleaning up most of the damage done by environmental disasters, by corporate polluters like Dow Chemical and Monsanto and shit like that? Is that who he's talking about? No. It's because Trump violated the terms of service on a social media site that we all have to abide by if we want to stay on the fucking site, and he wasn't special and he got punted. A Twitter oligarchy. Jesus.
Right now, and we've got a basic choice. We can have a republic where the people rule, or we can have an oligarchy where big tech and the liberals rule, and that is...
Well, excuse me, in a republic, the people don't rule. That's a democracy. We're a democratic republic, but you guys are Republicans, so you believe that... I don't know if you were listening to the Republican argument that you don't vote for the president, you vote for electors, and you just have to trust them to make the best... Jesus Christ. James Etling says, is Living Culture's Cult of Personality the theme song for this? Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of Josh Hawley.
And that is the choice, that is the challenge that we face.
No, the choice and the challenge is that green pixel over your shoulder, dude, that's like clearly a QAnon code.
Today, it's a perilous moment.
It is perilous. If we don't watch out, they're going to bring back MySpace.
To stand up and take our stand on the Constitution.
Stand up and take your stand on your standing.
Constitution of the United States and the Declaration of Independence, because last time I checked, the Declaration of Independence said that our inalienable rights to life and liberty come from God and not from government. Is that right?
Yeah, but the government actually maintains them, and the government is set up to protect those rights from infringement by a greater force than you can control yourself. We set up a society around the idea that those are inalienable rights. But, you know, if somebody, let's say, wanted to take their religious beliefs, impose them on you, and say that you can't have birth control, for example, that would be a violation of your God-given rights, and the government would be set up to see. All right.
Right? I mean, am I forgetting something?
Am I forgetting something? Is there something wrong here? Hey? Huh? Come on.
And I also thought,
Bro!
last I checked, I thought that
Last I checked, there were some amendments, one of which is awesome.
Declaration said that our rights come from God, not from Google. Is that right? I mean, last I checked.
Google doesn't. I don't know. I might have to Google it when I get home because I haven't read the Bible. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't actually give a shit.
But that's the fight of our time, to make the
Seriously, this motherfucker would have to Google a Bible verse.
rule of the people an actual thing again, to restore the...
They do have it. They can up-like something like on Cloud Hub, or they can participate. Like, here's one of the ways. Josh, I know, look, you're kind of looking at me, so maybe I can talk to you. Listen, buddy, one of the ways that the people exercise their rights and their freedoms in this country is that they participate in social media sites that don't allow things like ISIS cells and child porn and live streaming of murders and that kind of stuff. And so they would rather have a system set up where there are narrowly defined, and clearly defined limits on behavior so that we can all get on with our shit, right? But you want to walk into Twitter and wag your dick, apparently, and the rest of us that don't want to see that, apparently it's a violation of your rights to do that, not our rights to go to a social media site that keeps that kind of crap at bay.
Restore the sovereignty of the American people. You know what? That's always been the fight. That's the fight of liberty.
Isn't it? Yeah, that's what, when George Washington crossed the Delaware to plant his flag on the shores of Gab.
That's been the fight of liberty since the beginning of human history. You've always got a small group of people who think they know best, and they
that's how I would define CPAC.
got to be in charge, and they got to be able to tell us what to think and do.
Oh, you mean like the minority in the Senate and the minority in the House? And okay. No, you just mean minorities in general. I see. Sorry. I thought I was confused. I thought he was making an argument that that since, they don't have control over the House and the Senate, that they shouldn't try to stop bills that they actually know would pass with a majority, just freeze them in place with a filibuster because,
And today, that's the big corporations and the liberal elites. That's the oligarchy.
The what? I'm sorry, what kind of elites are they?
What to think and do. Mm-hmm. And today, that's the big corporations and the liberal elites. That's
the liberal elites. Okay, I didn't realize it was one word.
The oligarchy. And what are we fighting for? It's the same thing our founding fathers fought for. We're fighting for the rule of the people.
We're fighting for the rule of the people. And that's why we stand by Donald John Trump, who dodged multiple sexual assault investigations just by being a rich asshole and paid off women with campaign funds and got away with that too. And why we ran interference for him when he did 2 impeachable offenses.
We're fighting to be able to have our own say. We're fighting to be able to run our own government. We're fighting to...
What do you mean, run our own government? Dude, you're in the minority because you guys lost.
Have real self-government in America, and that's what we're about.
Yeah. A circle jerk is not self-governing.
You can see where the oligarchs want to take us.
Can you? Where do they want to take us? Come on. I know why you can see. You use Google Maps. It's on Google Maps, of course.
Just look at the last 2 months.
Yeah, just look at the last 2 months, January and February. Okay. So the 6th. Are we factoring the 6th in? Where we want to take?
The last 2 months, the big tech corporations have deplatformed conservatives left and right, shut them up, shut them out, shut them down. Heck, they sent.
Sorry. There's a lot of conservatives on a lot of social media sites. The only ones that seem to get booted are the ones who are fomenting or cheering on the insurrection and wouldn't stop. Or like Michael Lindell, who was doing it on his personal page, and they told him I took his down because he violated the terms of service, and then he just bounced over to his corporate account and started doing it there, and then they bounced that because that's a violation of the terms of service. So basically, in my house, I can set up a bunch of rules, but it's a violation of your freedoms if I don't want you shitting on my dining room table, Josh.
Heck, they censored the President of the United States.
They didn't censor only the government can censor somebody, asshole. They just said, not here, motherfucker. That's it. They don't have the right to do that. They don't have the free speech right to do that as a company.
If they can censor him, they can censor any American citizen.
Yeah, no. It's the other way around. If they can censor any American citizen, they can censor him. They didn't censor. It's his word, but you know what I mean. He ain't special. He doesn't get to foment violence when the rest of us get kicked off for it.
And I've got my own experience with this, unfortunately.
It's tough. I've been through it. Let me tell you, we all share such a hard time, bro.
On January the 6th,
That's a good data reference here, bruh.
Objected during the Electoral College certification. Maybe you heard about it.
I did. Now, granted, my only proof that there was voter fraud was that I fraudulently voted from my sister's house. Bruh.
I stood up.
And no one could tell. Sorry, I'm relatively short myself, so I think he's actually taller than me. He just looks diminutive. Yeah, give him a look, man. Pose for the pictures.
I stood up.
And someone said, please rise. Sorry.
And I said, we ought to have a debate about election integrity.
Yeah, and you can do that, but not when there are people storming the Capitol and going to kill people, and all the legal fights have failed. Thank you, Al Powers. Thank you. Is that AI Powers or Al? I think it's AI, isn't it? Interesting. Because the answer is 42, I'm just saying.
I said it is the right...
Us said it's our right to delay these things until the mob can get in here and shoot Mike Pence. I didn't say it in those words, but...
the people to be heard, and my...
Raphael, I raised my fist and was like, hey, bud, let's party with some killer
constituents in
waves.
Missouri want to be heard on this issue, and so
I'm sorry, in what state? You live in Virginia.
I did what our Democrat friends, my Democrat colleagues, have done in every single election where a Republican president has...
No. You're talking about House Democrats. There's a huge difference when the Senate signs on to it. Do you want to go? Should we go watch all the videos of individual House members calling for the electoral votes not to be counted? Do you want to see the part where Joe Biden himself gabbles people down because they don't have a senator signing on to it? Then you want to go to you guys signing on to this, multiple senators on the Republican side, when you lost, signing on to this, bringing it to the floor, when you knew there was an insurrection, a violent mob outside? I mean, honestly, what was the delay for? It takes a while to build a gallows. Those things you can't get them at IKEA anymore.
For the last 20 years. Do you know they've objected to 11 different states in certifications over the last 25 years, 3 different...
Why? Why did they do that? Did they do it because of an illusion about voter fraud or cases that weren't filed? Or did they, was it specifically dealing with the fact that black and brown people were denied voting machines or given broken ones in areas to tamp down the vote in those areas and draw attention to that? And didn't get a senator to sign on to it because it was really an opportunity to make that statement. But okay, please. Continue.
3 different presidential elections.
Bruh.
So I did that, and I said I want to have a debate on election integrity. And what was the result?
And if we don't have this debate right now, Mike Pence will have a chance to leave the room before these guys get in here with guns and pipe bombs and nooses and hammers.
That? You know what the result was. I was called a traitor. I was
Yep, that's a good word.
called a seditionist. The radical left
Yeah, that works too.
said I should be resigned, and if I wouldn't resign, I should be
Sorry, you should be resigned? Do you think resigning is an external act? And by the way, the radical left said you should resign? Your own hometown paper, alleged hometown paper, said you should resign. What radical left?
be expelled from the United States Senate.
Yes, right.
Well, as I said,
But honestly, I was for that before you actually attempted to get some of your colleagues murdered. I thought you should be because you don't live in Missouri and you committed voter fraud. And I think that's kind of a bar.
as I said a moment ago,
That as a senator, you shouldn't fall. House members, what are you going to do? It's rabble, right? Am I right? But, House, Senate, you should at least have that line. Like, don't commit overt voter fraud and then try to stop genuine electoral counts from going through in other states when you committed the crime that you're accusing others of having committed simply so. All right.
I'm going to go. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here.
Yeah, we know that's at the top of your list. You said you're not going anywhere. Yes, you're forever going to be stuck behind a transparent podium at CPAC.
I'm going to stand up for you.
I'm going to stand up for you because we're the party of hoes. Sorry, Kimberly, did it again. Damn.
Because if we can't have free and open debate in this country, we're not going to have a country left. If we can't have free and open debate according to the laws in the United States Senate, what good is the United States Senate? Why
Well, if someone like you can get elected, I'm starting to question its validity as a legitimate body.
do you send anybody to Washington at all?
Yeah, what? Why Missouri? Why would Missourians send somebody to Washington who's already there? He lives in Virginia.
I thought it was an important stand to take. And for
thanks,
that,
Becky.
the left has come after me. They've tried to silence me. They've canceled.
No. We're not trying to silence you. As a matter of fact, we're criticizing you openly. Consequence culture, my friend. Hashtag consequence culture.
Book I was writing called The Tyranny of Big Tech. These people have no sense.
And I got canceled. The Tyranny of Big Tech. Man, in a book like, and the only version that's out is the Kindle version, and
Of irony.
I got my paperback publishing contract. Like, dude, release the PDF. Give it away for free. Isn't America that important?
Still going to get published, by the way. It'll be out soon.
Yeah, it'd be great. I can't wait. I'll pick it up on Scribed. Oh, Jill, thank you.
Not long to wait. They did all of that.
No, not long to wait. Just wait. Hang out. We're not going anywhere. My book will be here. I'm writing it as we sit here.
It didn't work.
They're basically transcribing what I'm saying here. And how many stand up and not back down did I get? 9? I need 20 or just to get to my word count for the day.
But listen, that's just a slice of what they've done. A lot of people have had it a lot worse. They've made.
Oh yeah, some people haven't even ever been offered $1 million book contract based on nothing.
List of Trump voters, you know this. You can find online list of Trump voters so they could go and try to punish them. One outfit in Washington's keeping a list of everybody who ever worked for Donald Trump, including White House interns, to try to make sure.
You mean people? So the people who work for pay for Donald Trump are, of course, suspect. They're keeping a list of them. You mean the General Accounting Office and a list of interns that work for Trump? Yeah, yeah. So let's say the person was like, well, it's a paycheck, versus the person, I would work for him for free. See the concern they might have? But all right, a list though, guys. A list. A list.
Try to make sure they can never get another job in Washington again.
Interning is not a job. It's free. You work for free. It's for college credit or something like that. And
I was struck by this story about a gal named Cara DeMoplin. She's just
a terrible story about Cara DeMoplin. You were struck by the story. That's why you had to read. Okay.
She's a lady with a business online. She does
She's a lady with a business online. Tell me more.
Consulting on how to get babies to sleep. Now listen, before you...
She does consulting on how to get babies to sleep. Now I'm afraid. Hold on 1 second. 911? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's Josh Hawley. I don't know. Apparently he is he's been on the internet looking at sites on how to put babies to sleep. Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah. Is he on the list already? He is. He's on the list. Okay, great. Can you send a helicopter and just have him follow him around? Especially if he's near, a Toys R Us or any. Thanks. Okay, bye. Yeah, no, I'll see you later. Okay. That's very sweet. I'm wearing a gray t-shirt and jeans. We don't have time for this. Sorry. 911.
Before you say, what do we care about that? I've got 3 little...
Yeah, what do we care about putting babies to sleep?
Kids at home, including a newborn. My baby Abigail, my wife and I welcomed her on November the 9th, so she's just over 3 months old. Thank you.
Thank you. Before you really get into that, Clapter.
So we're really interested in sleep. I can tell you, the Hawley household, we care about sleep. My wife...
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know how noisy Missouri is. We had to move all the way to Virginia just to get some sleep.
Knew of this gal, Cara DeMoplin, who had an Instagram...
read her name again. She's in your fucking speech. Cara DeMoplin. I've heard the name twice. I can say it from memory now.
Online thing where she counseled people on how to get their
put babies to sleep, right?
Babies to sleep. It was great. She had like 4 million followers. What happened? She supported...
What happened? She was just like, that's all. She just had this little 4 million people following her, how to get babies to sleep. And then what happened? What happened?
Donald Trump. So what did they do? They came after her. Tried to shut down her accounts,
Sorry, because she what? Why did they shut down her account?
Joplin, who had an Instagram online thing where she counseled people on how to get their babies to sleep. It was great. She had like 4 million followers. What happened? She supported Donald Trump. So what did they do? They came after her.
Oh, really? She just supported Donald Trump. She just supported him. She voted for him. She donated money. She supported him. Is that how it went? And they just went, ew. She supports Donald Trump. We have to shut her entire account down. Or did she start recommending hydroxychloroquine to put children to sleep? Are we in that zone? Maybe you should have a light bulb up your ass. Maybe that does cure COVID.
They came after her, tried to shut down her accounts, tried to run her out of business. I just heard this.
Really? With torches and...
This morning, that a Christian worship leader at
a Christian worship leader. So clearly a decent non-Ravi kind of a person who, unlike Jim Baker, has never done anything wrong to
church in this country, who has albums, worship albums he put out. He just got a call this morning.
Worship albums? What's your favorite deep track? Who is it? Is it Michael W. Smith? Yeah.
From his corporate distributor, and they told him they're not going to distribute his next album.
Why? What's on the album? Jesus is my oleander. What's the songs on the album? Trump is still my president. Hang Mike Pence. The Lord hath called. They're not going to carry the corporate. people aren't going to carry his next record. I'm going to go out on a limb. Maybe it sucks.
What was his sin? He supported Donald Trump.
That's all. He just supported him. He went, I know he's a flawed man, but I think there's definitely some policies that I support, and I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, and Jesus surrounded himself with criminals and hookers and thieves, and he had charity in his heart for him. So I support some of the policies that I think Jesus would have supported, like caging kids, and I'm kidding, I'm caging them, dumping them in Juarez, and separating children from their parents, and not even bothering to keep a record, and I, one of my
in the election. This is what corporate America
in the election. You mean he voted for him, or after the election he was saying this was, he went full Mike Lindell,
and the radical left is doing. This is what they're doing.
What radical left? They're a corporate Christian record label.
Left, right.
Yeah, Q Snatch Melodies just picked up his record, though. Thanks, Bridget.
And center. And they're going to keep on doing it unless we do something about it. Now, the real question is, how do we get here? How do we get to this point that these oligarchs, these massive corporations in hock with the left can do what they're doing? And
in hock with the left? In hock? Hold on. This is good news. We all just found out that apparently the biggest corporations in America owe the left money. I have a great way they could pay it off. Perhaps, and call me crazy, a $15 minimum wage. You could start there. Just kind of an installment plan. Jesus Christ, in hock.
You know the answer to that.
No one knows the answer to that, Josh Hawley.
The answer is that the policy experts in Washington, D.C., and the elected officials there for decades on end have let them do it. They have
let who do what?
Given them the power. How did big tech get so big? Washington gave away the store. That's how they got so big.
They did? If they gave away the store, why isn't MySpace still there? Why aren't we still on AOL Online? How come eWorld got shut down, Apple? I had an icon on that site. It was a pixelized 3D environment before Second Life, and I mean, why didn't they give away the store when eWorld was around? Damn.
Washington subsidized Google and Facebook. Washington subsidized Twitter. And
they did? What? That's news to me. Twitter got subsidies?
What are these companies, these other mega corporations, these multinational companies, what have they done to repay the favor? No, they've...
Yeah, they've created meeting sites for insurrectionists, Nazis, violent felons, psychopaths. They've helped stalkers track people. They took political ads. They took payment for political ads in rubles during 2016. They arguably gave us Donald Trump. Holy shit, I'm on Josh Hawley's side. We need to shut these things down.
Oh, they've shipped our jobs to China. They paid...
How did Google ship your job to China? The fuck are you talking about? Is there a Twitter sweatshop? This poor, like children in China, like every time you hit like, they have to carry a giant heart up and put it on a board. Clack. Ah, may I have a break? No, keep liking. Keep liking. Clack. Instagram sweatshops.
They paid our workers poverty wages.
Asshole, you're voting against the $15 minimum wage.
They have violated all of the principles that we hold dear. That's what they've done.
What? Wait, sorry, which ones? Any? What policies?
That's what these companies, that's what they live to do.
And totally. Everybody at Google jacks off to the idea of paying people below minimum wage for, I don't know what, AdSense counts?
And the left is just fine with it. Because the left...
No, we're not. We're the one pushing for the $15 minimum wage, you dick.
these companies together.
We've been pushing because solar panels and wind are the future to build them here. And you guys literally excised those things out of the Recovery Act.
These oligarchs, they can
The oligarchs
impose their agenda on the rest of us, and that's exactly what
What? Okay.
they're trying to do. So what are we going to do about it?
Yeah, what are you going to do about it? Please tell us how you're going to bring wages up and stop giant corporations from having too much control.
I mean, that's the real question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Maybe answer it. You're running out of time, dickhead.
In this moment of crisis,
Yeah, and it is a moment of crisis. I mean, you're having to... All right.
our country needs us to take a stand.
Yeah, stand and take a stand. Stand. Did I get enough? Have I said stand enough? Good.
In this moment of crisis, our country needs us to stand up and to say, we will not be ruled by giant corporations and the liberal elite. We will not be told what to do by these modern day oligarchs.
What? They're not telling you what to do. I mean, if you're using the same analogy, they're telling you what not to do. Like, don't post child porn or threaten gun violence. Like, take a picture of yourself pointing a gun at your camera and say, I'm coming for you, and tag people and shit like that. Those kind of things. That's the kind of stuff that like Facebook and Twitter tell you not to do. They don't tell you what to do. They just go, hey guys, if you're going to hang out here, we got a couple of rules. If you don't want to participate in the rules, go make your own shit.
What we need is a new
This gathering is all weekend, by the way. CPAC is all weekend. Sunday is Trump's speech.
nationalism, a new agenda to make the rule of the people real in this country. And
He just said nationalism. They're clapping for that. They don't even know it. What do you mean nationalism to make the rule of the people?
give the people America back.
Give the people America back. Well, technically, I guess you lost it in the election. And the other people in the country who outnumber you are being quite, honestly, quite gentlemanly about letting you continue to participate.
Give it back to them. Give it back to you.
Sorry, somebody was saying something about trolls wait for a reply and then immediately report you. Oh, I see. Wasn't yeah. Yeah, that's trolls kick a lot of people off of sites just by falsely interpreting stuff like that. That's why I'd say be creative with your word usage. Don't go straight to the regular fight language. It's why you'll see many times I use a lot of creative word usements that I structure, to paraphrase Steve Martin, and it helps a lot because it keeps you out of the normal auto delete zone, and it sharpens the mind. I'm just saying, if you're not just using the same hammer. I mean, I definitely have some recurring themes, and I like to use them on social media, but I don't need them. I like them.
No more rule by oligarchs, rule by the
No more! We shall have no more rule by oligarchs. No more! Back! Get thee behind me, Satan, and unzip.
people. That's what we've got to do. And I can tell you how I would start. I would start by breaking up the big tech corporations. Just break them up.
Yeah, so that Parler and Gab and CloudHub have a shot. I don't want to break up those. I mean, that's not big tech. That's like a dangly, shitty, like mom and pop store on the edge of town. That's, it's kind of like so if Twitter is the actual Four Seasons, all right.
Break them up in the name of the rule of the people.
In the name of the rule of the people, I say Facebook out. All right.
For the good of the American
Yes, Bridget, thank you. Bridget, fightiness.
people and our liberty, we need to break those corporations up and cut them down to size. You know what? The Republican Party, once upon a time, we were the
Why? Once upon the time you were the what?
party of trustbusters. You know it? I mean, we invented the concept, basically. It's time to...
Yeah, but that was the Republican Party that existed before the civil rights era. And that was all Dixiecrats. And that was all that was industrial plantation owners who were getting swamped by the giant steel mills and the new technology of car companies and the like, and technology companies, and they wanted to break. All right.
It's time to reclaim that legacy. It's time to reclaim that legacy, and not just for...
Yeah. And what other oligarchies do you think should be broken up?
Big tech, but for all of the huge multinational corporations that have sold us out to China, that have sold out our workers, that have sold out our jobs, they need to be broken up. And we need...
You can't, if it's a multinational, you can't break them up. You're not, I mean, you can make them sever their ties in the United States, I suppose, but it's not going to break up the rest of the company.
To have free, fair competition in this country.
That's right. Yes, exactly. I would say that Walmart, since it does more online business than Amazon technically, and it has been putting mom and pop stores all throughout the flyover states out of business for decades, and doesn't pay their workers a living wage, and the United States taxpayer has to subsidize most of Walmart's workforce, I think they should be first. Then do Google.
This country again.
Guarantee, by the way, there are people in the audience on their phones Googling antitrust laws right now. Fuck you, I'm using Bing. Shut up.
That's what it means for the people to rule.
Yeah.
We've got
nice.
to stand up to China and not allow them to continue to push us over, to take our jobs, to cheat on trade. We got to put American workers first, not illegal immigrants. Can I just say, by the way, on that subject, just on the
subject of illegal immigrants,
subject of immigration. We get told all the time, oh, if you believe in a border, if you think that borders actually matter, if you think that citizenship actually matters, well, my goodness, I mean, you're a bigot. You're bad.
No, we recognize the country is made up of not just white people. See, and so immigration, like illegal immigration or undocumented immigration or unfettered immigration of any sort, like, I don't know, Europeans overstaying their visas and taking jobs from Americans, which happens a lot as well, which you don't ever seem to care about. There's never a build that wall in the British Airways terminal in Los Angeles. No. Just let the British actors come in and overstay their visas. They can re-sign up in the casting office. Okay, so am I bigoted towards the Brits for that? Well, I have enough Scottish blood, I probably am. But point being is that you guys only seem to care about brown immigrants. So that's why you get your little red flag with a white circle and a weird symbol in the middle.
You're backwards. Can I just try to enlighten our liberal friends for a second?
Sure, please do. I'm waiting.
We believe in borders because we believe in citizenship. And we believe in citizenship because we believe in America.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think we have a comprehensive immigration bill that deals with the immigrants that are here that are living under the table and working, for poverty wages and undermining the jobs of Americans in the country, not just jobs overseas, jobs here that friends of yours and the Republican Party pay under the table slave wages for workers and in factories and in fields. And we would like those people who've been here for a very long time and are basically undocumented Americans to become documented so that they become full citizens and they have a pathway to that so that it's not just a big murky mess. And then we have an asylum system, and then we have a rule about green cards. People come in, temporary migrant workers, when they're needed and they go back home. That happens a lot, so they can... It's not like they all want to leave their own home countries. Never mind. This is too... I'm sorry. I was getting into the well-thought part of this.
Citizenship You know, where I come from in Missouri, I grew up in rural Missouri, small town right in the middle of Missouri. It's a working class town full of good folks working
That I couldn't wait to get the shit out of.
hard to make it every day. And I can just tell you, where I grew up, we believe in citizenship because we're proud of it. We're proud to be Americans. And when you come to America, you join.
Well, yeah, it obviously in your argument, the quote-unquote radical left believes in the value of American citizenship and the value of America, or their desire to allow people to achieve citizenship properly would actually be an attack. You know, I hate those caravans. I hope they come up here and get citizenship. That'll show them. Arguably, you could say that they like it so much they think more of the world deserves it than you. You treat it like a country club membership.
You join a family, and in this family, we stick up for one another. We protect one another. We believe in one another. That's what citizenship means.
Really? So you stuck up for the 81 million people who voted for Joe Biden? You're sticking up for them now? It's part of the family? So the dominant members in your family, the by volume, they deserve to be derided and lied about in the true Christian tradition.
Means. That's why it's worth protecting. That's why we need a border. Do you agree? I mean, that's what it is.
That's what it is. That's why I don't give a shit about when people cross into the country coming in through the airports and sneak by and stay. Yes, we do have a border. We are going to keep a border. There's no, I mean, you can't even approach the idea of some of the things that the most radical left crowd are presenting, like Medicare for all and minimum wage and those kind of things, a rise in those. You couldn't even approach those if you had unfettered immigration. The system would swamp itself. It's the value of citizenship, and then when you become the shining light on the hill, and then people's belief in democracy and the betterment of every citizen spreads, and then other countries do it on their own, and then people don't have to leave their countries to come here to have the same thing that we have because we're trying to spread democracy. But, that's, yeah.
And we've got to resist the attempts of the oligarchs to divide us. They will only succeed at the end of the day. They will only...
Yeah. We've got to stop the oligarchs from trying to divide us from the radical left. There's a lot of overlap. What?
Succeed if we do nothing, and if we allow ourselves to be divided. You can see what their strategy is.
Yeah, what's the strategy? I mean, this guy knows strategy. It's ninth level, SPARKS chess.
We saw it this whole last year.
You totally did, all last year, when people were dying of COVID and you didn't give a shit.
We heard endlessly from corporate media, from big tech, from the left, how terrible...
Wear a mask, practice physical distancing, wash your hands, don't touch your eyes. If you have symptoms, isolate, get tested. What else? Sorry, there was something else.
Our country is. We heard that
how terrible our country is. Well, you didn't hear it from me.
We are systemically racist. You heard that once or twice?
No, we have issues of systemic racism. See, it's like when a doctor says you have cancer, that doesn't mean you are cancer. See, this is Josh Hawley at one point got a cut on his finger and went, "I am a cut." Seriously, you need to listen to some Alan Watts, dude. Teeth cannot bite themselves. We are a good country because we can deal with the systemic racism in our country and get it out so that everybody is operating on an even playing field, and we excise it. It doesn't mean we are this. It means we have this, and we can cure it if we face it, and we deal, and we eliminate it. We get a healthy diet. Build up our immune systems. Get a little exercise.
Twice. We heard that the real founding of the country wasn't in 1776. It was in 1619 or whatever.
Or whatever. Yeah, that wasn't the founding of the country. That was when that was still British.
We heard that America is founded in lies and evil. I mean, that's what we've been told. All of that is false.
All of it is false.
False. All of that is a
I'm sorry. Guys, you guys have been watching. Have I ever said, and I'm, by their standards, I'm to the left of Harvey Milk's nuts. Have I ever said that we were founded on lies and evil? Did Pelosi ever go, well, obviously the president is an asshole, but what do you expect from a country that was founded on lies and evil? Do you ever see? Remember when during the primaries, everybody was just jockeying in the primaries to shit talk America? Remember when Joe Biden was like, "Come on, man, ladies and gentlemen, this whole country was founded on lies and evil."
all of that is a lie. America is not a perfect place, but it's a good place. More than that, it's a great place. It's the great.
Yeah, it made it great again. We didn't need Trump anymore. It was great, and we went like, "Oh, this is great."
Greatest nation in the history of the world.
When it's run right.
And part of standing.
It's like saying, "This is the greatest car ever. Now let's put my alcoholic grandmother behind the wheel and a bunch of kids in front of it." Suddenly the car, as awesome as it is,
up to the oligarchs in tech and in the media and the liberals, is reclaiming our history and saying it is good, and we are proud to be Americans. We're proud to have commented.
If you start singing Lee Greenwood,
to have lived in a country that started with nothing and became the greatest country in the face of the earth. We're proud to live in a country that liberated slaves, that liberated a continent that was under the thumb of Nazi dictatorship, that rebuilt the entire world after a world war. We did all of that. This nation did all of it.
Did we? Because it seems like the guys that are on your side right now are pissed that we did that. You're fucking... All right. Look. I wasn't gonna... I have to find the picture. Now it's going to drive me nuts. Hold on one second. Where do we go? I have to look up a picture. Give me 1 second. Well, I think I've got a version of it over here somewhere. Let's find it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This asshole is standing on a stage that is designed to look like a symbol that Nazis wore on their collars. Don't start selling me this greatest generation bullshit, Josh Hawley. Somebody requested that fucking stage. The gap in the middle. You think this part was a necessary color change? They couldn't have made it just purple, like a big thing, or put an American flag across it, or they could have had a big CPAC written there. No, they left that gap out like that. Because that's how the symbol goes. But please tell me about the we part. You literally are standing, he's literally standing on a stage that is designed to look like a fascist emblem that the Nazis wore. And again, all due respect and my sad condolences to the followers of pagan Norse religions, because these guys are always co-opting that shit from a position of like a manhood issue. But please, tell me again. Tell me again what we did, Josh Hawley.
Did all of that. And are we perfect? Of course we're not perfect.
No, it's not a perfect Odin rune. It's close.
It's like your pastor says at church. Have you heard this? He said, have you ever been to a perfect church? The answer, I have never been. Maybe you have. The answer is no, of course not. Why? Because it's full of people. Every church is full of people. America's
Hilarious. That's great. Yeah, I get the point.
full of people, but it's full of good people. It's full of good people.
Unlike your church. What? If your church was full of good people, it would be a perfect church. In theory. What?
Who continue to seek the light and continue to strive towards that more perfect union. Now, my friends, it's up to us to stand up and to remind our fellow Americans of what we believe together,
Okay, what do we believe together?
of what we love together.
What'd you have in mind? Hello, ladies. Yeah, that's a good lean. Look, what we love together.
And to tell the oligarchs who want to rule this country that their day has passed, that we are going to stand for the liberty that our forefathers fought and died for, and we are going to make it real again in this day. We can do it.
It is real, dummy. It is. What part isn't real? A private organization that offers a service largely for free to nearly all, literally. I mean, you can pay for shit on Facebook as a business. You're now going to be able to pay for shit to help you get to the, boosted or get subscriptions or what have you on all of these sites, including Twitter. But you don't have to. They built a fucking park and said, don't come in here and take a shit or wag your dick or smack anybody, or we're going to ask you to leave. It's a free park. We built it. But it's not a public park. We built it. We're maintaining the servers. We're paying the costs of all these users that use it largely for free. All we ask is that you don't destroy the government that protects the actual system that we set up our corporation under. As we give... Seriously, this asshole looks like he's writing a Yelp review for something he paid money for.
We can do it. We can do it.
No, you can't. No, you can't. Do it. Present a bill. Put a bill on the floor that Republicans will pass that somehow tightens the rules on what you can say on social media or can't say, or loosens them to include everybody. Free speech reigns. If you open up, if you open a Christian chat room, you have to let everybody in. You got to let the, people post OnlyFans ads. It's just free speech, guys.
It seems now in this moment like the oligarchs and their allies are so powerful. But the truth is that the strength of America is always in the unheard voices of its people all across this great.
Well, then obviously not. Because the point of social media is literally the heard voices. Spell it however you want, I guess. But the idea that people are making their voices heard on social media. And they're choosing to hang out in ones that don't allow you to post like anti-Semitic tropes and fill people's feeds with bile or troll them unnecessarily or tell people to kill themselves or shit like that. And if you do that, you get broomed because people in this country are exercising their free association rights by not letting you force yourself into their party.
Across this great land. That's the strength is in you. The strength is in us together. And I just want to close with a line I've thought a lot about, a quote from Daniel Webster, who...
Yeah, this is the main dude for you, a union guy.
Trying years of his own that he knew, a trying time before the beginning of the Civil War, he used to end his speeches in the United States Senate by saying, "Union now, union forever."
Yeah, as opposed to Confederate. As opposed to Confederacy. You're not making any friends at CPAC right now, Josh Hawley.
What he meant is that for those who said that America's time had passed, that the country was hopelessly divided, that it was irredeemable, sound familiar? He said no.
Or that the people who are watching you today who wish that Confederate statues still stood on American land all over the place, that he was like, fuck that. Okay.
Oh, union now, union forever. I just want to say, my friends, America now, America first, America forever. God bless you. It's great to be with you. Take care. Thank you so much.
Rock and roll, yeah. Josh Hawley doing it. Wow. Good Lord. Okay, momentary break. I won't. I'm not gonna do this whole one because it's not. There will be no policy. Girls wanna have fun at CPAC. Gonna have some fun at CPAC. Girls wanna have fun at CPAC. Woo! Oh.
All right, all right. Well, hello, CPAC. How we doing, Florida?
They're making me open this.
How are we doing, America?
Excuse me. America's not watching. They'll see clips later. Still never fixed that big green pixel right in the middle. That's got to be code.
I have to tell you, I absolutely love the state of Florida. I mean, really, what's not to love compared to California and New York, right?
Right? I mean, what's in New York? Just Wall Street and great restaurants, and we used to hang out there. We can't go anymore because obviously my boyfriend has violated so many laws he can't set foot in the city or they might lock him up. And of course, California, like, what beaches did they have? Yeah, don't get me started on Irvine, am I right?
I love this state. I love Governor DeSantis, and we all love all of you. And thank you for being here today and standing for conservative values and principles.
Name some. I haven't heard any yet.
Now, in the great state of Florida, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Well, not every day, maybe like 6 out of 7. Because I got to remind you of one thing, that Joe Biden, I cannot believe it still, is in the White House.
Yeah, yes he is. He's the president of the United States. He won with more votes than any president in history. Enjoy that, Kimberly. By the way, the best is yet to come.
But Joe did not disappoint because just like we told you, he is leading from behind.
Is he now? Was that the big phrase? Biden will lead from behind?
From behind Kamala, that is.
Don Jr. helped me write that. All right. Templeton, thank you so much. I need to laugh, am I right?
True story.
No, not a true story. I mean, you're being sarcastic and kind of an asshole about it, and you're assuming that Kamala is dictating policy, which she isn't. Is it that scary that he's including her? All right.
However, with Joe Biden sort of bumbling his way through the first month, the reporters probably in the back of the room are trying desperately to write our obituary, but we are alive and well in this country.
Well, you're alive. We're alive and well. Ugh.
The press wants you to believe.
Wait, and you didn't go the best is yet to come? You didn't go, I mean, you're trying to drive these. You're supposed to kick this thing off.
That the American conservative movement is fractured. They want America to believe that this movement is dead.
Yeah, that's what the rhinos want you to believe. Am I right?
News flash to those out there. We aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, I know Josh Hawley said that. We aren't going anywhere. I know you're stuck in a treadmill. You're rehashing bullshit from a long time ago. You're not thinking towards the future. You're basically the human equivalent of fossil fuels. I get it.
It's the thousands of conservatives here today and the millions across this country who are not
dozens.
Going to be silenced. And we are definitely not going to cede this fight to the socialists and the communists who want to see our nation burn.
You mean like Josh Hawley? I mean, the dude was just arguing that, we gotta move all the work back to the United States, and the government should set the wages, and that we should break up any corporations, and that the government should have control over any social media network. And I mean, that guy's crazy. That's commie talk.
The fight for liberty, the fight for conservative values, and the fight for the heart and soul of this nation will not be abandoned.
Oh, abandoned. Oh, you mean like the children that you guys didn't get back together with their... Thank you, Kimberly, for helping everyone there with their abandonment issues.
That fight continues right here and right now with all of us. And that's
right here, right now, all of us in this place, we together must take a stand, and America. Right, sure.
because the America First policies and programs, we're not going anywhere. This movement is not going anywhere, and I can...
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. It's basically a dead-end movement. I get what you're saying here. I mean, you're in an emotional, psychosexual, and economic cul-de-sac. It's basically like, it's like a version of your own logo. You just kind of go into the end and kind of bounce around and then come back. It's like a reservoir tip kind of a philosophy.
I can promise you this.
We're like the sperm in a penis with a condom on it. We are not going anywhere.
President Trump is not going anywhere. He is here to stay.
No, he won't be there till Sunday. And yes, he is there to stay, meaning Florida. Yes, he's not going anywhere. He's going to keep playing golf until he dies. Like, this is it. I mean, honestly.
That's the good news.
It is the good news of the Lord Jesus Christ. Help us.
We love President Trump, and I'll tell you.
And I tell you.
I will confidently say that President Trump from his desk at Mar-a-Lago will accomplish more for America in the next 4 years than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris could ever dream of.
Yeah. Yeah. What things would those be? Because honest to God, they're going to pass, and Joe Biden will sign the COVID rescue package. $1.9 trillion in rescue spending for the United States of America. I'm sorry, what is Trump going to accomplish with his office of the former president? Seriously. What's he going to do? Just keep the horror. It's going to keep the heart alive. We're just going to keep the dreams alive. Because where we go one, we go up.
That is because we are not giving up. The Republican Party is...
Yeah, wait, so he's going to be successful more so than Biden because you're not giving up. So basically, what you're talking about is blocking Biden from doing anything, so you're trying to attack the United States and make sure that the country fails over the next 4 years so that the president of the United States is able to get less done for the American people than some asshole golfer in Florida. That's conservative philosophy right now.
Party is being reborn thanks to President Trump. It is being reborn as the party of the working class, of minorities, of hardworking American men and women. The party of America.
Holy shit. Jill, the air went out of that when she said minorities. They were kind of with her. Listen to the silence in this.
President Trump, it is being reborn as the party of the working class, of minorities, of hardworking American men and women. The party of America First. The party of President Trump.
Yeah, they'll applaud for the party of President Trump thing, but the whole of minorities. The party of never being able to have a charity because it violates the law and you cannot be trusted.
And we bid a farewell to the weak-kneed, the spineless, and the cowards that are posing in D.C. pretending that they're working for the people.
By the way, she means the rhinos, and I would like to remind you that she started her speech saying that the news reports that there's a fracture in the conservative world is false. Yeah.
Let's send them a pink slip straight from CPAC. What do you say? We tell them that America has no use for them, and this movement is leaving those cowards in the ash bin of history, and we will.
The ash bin. Yikes. Dustbin, I think, is what you mean. Unless well, you are standing on a Nazi symbol. Maybe that's where you're going.
Strive forward, thanks to the courage, the policies, and the strength of President Trump.
And the golf swing. Well, putt. Well, cheating ability.
Instead, we will chart a new path, a path driven by bold conservative solutions, a path where we don't kowtow to the demands of the leftist mob, and a path where we are willing to stand up and fight for what we believe in and what we hold true.
Which is
From California to New York, we will fight to take back this country.
Well, I thought you just said California and New York sucks. I mean, don't name drop them as they suck and then go, you're going to fight. All right, never mind. By the way, the reason she's saying that is because she's from California. She used to be married to Gavin Newsom, and he apparently had an affair with a woman that he is now married to, and many people thought that was a bad thing. Now we know that he was effectively cheating on her, and it makes a lot of sense. But beyond that, she name-dropped California and her boyfriend, Trump, who Don Jr., who basically left his wife for her, is from New York. So these are the places they suck, but they're the only meaningful places for either one of them.
However, to do so, we must do three important things.
Oh boy. Hold on. Everybody get out a legal pad. We're going to have to write these down, and they're not going to be easy to remember. Okay, here we go.
We must demand more from our elected leaders and officials and those that are actually pursuing public office. It is not enough to just be, quote, Republican. That means very little when they get to Washington, D.C., and they don't perform.
Well, that's just rude, because you make it sound like it's easy, and it just frankly isn't, you know?
Once it was reluctantly aroused. It was hard to get it aroused, and it is hard to get it aroused, but we got it aroused.
I mean, not everybody has the same, if they get to D.C. and they can't perform. But enough about me and Don Jr. on election night.
We're not interested in those type of politician empty suits.
No, we want our suits full and virile and squirty.
We want fighters like President Trump, warriors for this country, for America.
So fight and war and warrior and fighting. Not somebody who actually gets, policy agendas because, taxes and rights are good to manage and, okay. We need him to rise up and take the lead as the mantle.
And our movement must stay true to America first. As the Democrats scurry to re-enter the corrupt Iran nuclear deal and cozy up to China, we must understand.
The cozying up to, are those two separate things? I hope so.
That the survival of our nation is based on putting the American worker and the American family first.
Oh, so families are, okay, that's a good part. So like a gay couple that have adopted children and stuff like that, you're really focusing on making sure that they feel completely welcome in America? Is that also part of the, no? Okay.
And finally, we must take our message
and finally
to every corner.
Hold on. That was just two. Or unless this is just the first one? Or is families for America? Oh, shit.
Corner of our nation.
I lost track. Somebody write this. Do we have a stenographer?
America first means all of Americans. All of us united together as a country. Our ideas, our conservative values, and the solutions that we champion are the key to lifting up everyone in this country.
Wait, so you're not including, so all of us in America, all of us conservatives in America, everybody else can go fuck themselves. Independents, liberals, progressives, anybody who's just, Green Party, any of that. Not really America is what you're saying. I get it. Okay, cool.
As a movement, our Message must transcend party lines, socioeconomic lines, and cultural lines. As one America we put first. If we can accomplish that over the next
I'm seriously, there's some hard silences in there.
4 years, I can promise you, we will be winning elections. It will only be the start of what is going to happen because, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the best is yet to come. God bless CPAC. God bless Madam Mercedes.
Damn, that was a weak wind-up.
And the entire team, your family, the military, the veterans, law enforcement first.
Yes, the veterans. Thank you. Finally, someone thanks the veterans. They brought snacks. Harv and Nancy Vetterman, they come every year. They bring enough canapes for everyone. They make this delicious ambrosia salad, and no one ever thanks the veterans. So, to the veterans, thank you for bringing the Entenmann's. It means...
First responders, God bless.
Yes, to the veterans. The veterans have a giant cat, by the way. They have one of those over there. So I want to thank the veterans for their serval.
President Trump, and thank you, President Trump, on behalf of a grateful and humble nation.
Thank you. Where did you go? Where did you learn to speak? Was it at a Morse Code Academy? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all our ships at sea.
God bless this country, and ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the son of the greatest president this country has seen, a leader of the...
Oh my God. How old is Abraham Lincoln's kid?
Warrior MAGA movement and conservative values, Donald Trump Jr.
Oh, really? You got what's your job? I'm gonna introduce my boyfriend, which, by the way, we have right here. There he is. What's happening? He's got all of his stuff. He's got people filming him. He's ready to go. Bump, bow, give me some music that you got off a free website. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You guys don't have anything a little more Creed-like for me? Don Jr., coming your way, gonna wave at your buddy, and there's nothing to say. I gotta take your speech, get it off my potty home, home.
Wow!
Wow! Somebody's been watching the Mike Pillow documentary.
How's it going, CPAC?
You guys as coked up as I am!
Or I heard someone earlier phrase it a little bit better. T-PAC. It's what it feels.
Dude. T-PAC. Fucking hell. First of all, they meant that in a derogatory way, meaning that there is no conservative party anymore. It feels like it literally, yeah, he said teabag. T-PAC because it's Trump's political action gathering, whatever thing. See, T-PAC instead of CPAC because it's not about conservative values anymore. It's about allegiance to Trump. Isn't that awesome? It's almost like T-PAC, like everybody here needs a timeout, am I right?
Guys, well, first and foremost, it's all...
And by the way, it's not teabag, it's T-PAC. Teabag is when somebody dangles their nuts on your head, like what Trump does with Ted Cruz until he says uncle, which he never says for some reason. T-PAC is when Ted Cruz lets Trump take his testicles and stuff them all the way. I'll tell you later. I have to draw a picture.
It's awesome to be here. It's great to see this kind of enthusiasm, and it's great to actually be in a full room.
Yeah, I haven't been at a super spreader event in like 3 weeks.
You know, honestly, guys, what I see in Florida right now
Is on this paper right before
is
me.
exemplary of the Republican Party, right? This is a state like the party is that has
Yeah, it's it's mostly old people. The young people that go there only visit for a short time, fuck around, and then go home eventually and become normal, productive adults. And you guys ignore the fact that you're surrounded by minorities. Yeah, it's just like Florida. And you look like somebody who would be arrested with no shirt on trying to fuck an alligator.
that has open schools,
Oh, open sores.
open businesses, and
Open mouths to receive droplets of a strain of the virus that we don't know will actually...
open churches. What we've seen
Yeah, none of you guys are going to them, but they're open.
in some of the more left-leaning states is exactly the opposite. The only thing that they
The only thing that they have is fewer cases.
have open is open borders.
Yeah, that's true. I gotta admit, the open borders in Virginia, for example. I mean, they're allowing people from Missouri to pretend they live there. It's terrible.
And it doesn't work.
Sorry, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas, are those borders? Those are the big border states. I mean, California, yeah, but that's San Diego. It's hardly Darrell Ice's district.
Work, guys. In the first
Guys, work, guys.
30 days of Joe Biden's presidency, all of the things that I said would come true in the book Liberal Privilege that I wrote last summer are happening.
Which no one bought, but they have a lot of free copies here that they're handing out. CPAC bought a shit ton of them.
We listened to months of media telling us that Joe Biden, he's a moderate, don't worry. He's not going to end energy. He's not going to end...
He's not going to... Yeah. He has not ended energy.
pipelines, which is partially correct. He's not going to end Russian pipelines. He's only going to end American pipelines.
It's a Canadian pipeline. Keystone's a Canadian pipeline. It's a pipeline for Canadian shale oil to get to the Gulf.
The Russian ones are just fine.
No, they're in negotiations to stop it, and they're talking to Germany.
They're going to cave to China. No, that was never going to happen. Of course it happened.
It
You
did?
think that billion-dollar investment in Hunter came for free? No, the Chinese have a great return on investment.
What is it? What was the big thing with China? What did he give China this week? Oh my God, we're going to find out. He's going to drop something. It was a big secret plan all along, and he's going to name what happened.
But guys, more importantly...
Wait a minute, more importantly than what? What was the thing with China? What did he do? He waited 2 weeks to call the leader. He didn't give him anything. What was the part where he... What do you mean, don't move on?
Who would have thought that within 33 days we'd be bombing the Middle East again? I would have.
I'm sorry, we're bombing the Middle East again? So I'm sorry. Airstrikes in Syria bad, okay? Is that where we're going? So they can injure a soldier, kill contractors. You actually target the strikes so they're not hitting civilians. I know that's rough. But we're bombing them. Are we? Is there a new shock and awe?
Oh no, guys, come on. The military-industrial complex. I'm surprised it took them 30.
The military-industrial complex. Dude, your dad bragged about the largest military budget increase in history. Where do you think that money goes?
3 days. I guess they waited till the first month, so they couldn't say that was part of the first 30, but it was only shortly thereafter where we started bombing the Middle East.
Yeah, did we send troops in? Do we have troops? Do we have boots on the ground now? Did we send more people in? I mean, the same number of people are in Afghanistan now as were when your dad came into office.
Speaking of bombing the Middle East, have you seen Liz Cheney's poll numbers?
Why is that bombing the Middle East? But please tell us how Did you hear Kimberly's remarks? I mean, I know you guys have sex, but did you ever, like, I mean, if that's possible, did you review her remarks? Well, I guess you did. He's being booed. Yeah, that's what the whole CPAC versus TPAC thing is.
No, listen, the one thing I'll say for Liz Cheney is I'm sure she has a lot of bipartisan support, because if there's one thing that she and Joe Biden definitely want to do, it's bomb the Middle East. Everything else is a disaster. Everything else
is it? Everything else is a disaster. 50% of people over the age of 65 have been vaccinated, have had at least one shot. 7% when your dad was president just a few weeks ago. There was no plan.
Everything else is just rhino policies. The kinds of policies.
Terrible. Rhino policies. Yes, please. Call them out.
Put the Republican Party in a position where they needed a Donald Trump.
That's right. And they need him now more than ever. Give it to him, Don.
No, seriously. Liz Cheney and her politics are only...
Yeah, he has to say no, seriously, because the idea that the conservative movement or the Republican Party needs his dad or a Trump in general is indeed a joke.
She's slightly less popular than her father is at a quail hunt.
That's a shooting joke. But please, 15-year-old stale jokes from, I guess, late-night talk shows that you currently deride for being a lefty.
What?
What? It's like Dick Cheney, when he's duck hunting, is like just as dangerous as my dad backstage when a bunch of 15-year-old girls are changing their clothes. Am I right? It's like a Donald Trump is your 12-year-old daughter's babysitter, right? Especially if she's got long blonde hair. Don't get me started.
Fact checkers, please have at it.
What do you mean fact checkers have at it? What, is it mostly because people at CPAC are too young to know that Dick Cheney shot somebody? Oh, God, this is painful.
Fact check true.
Fact check true.
Right?
Right? This is going so well.
Listen, like I said...
Bring back Kimberly! Have her wear the other outfit!
Liz Cheney, she hates Donald Trump and his policies because her family...
Wait, we're 4 in on Liz Cheney? Did your dad write this? Christ, this is a precursor. This is basically, he's testing material he's going to sell his dad for Sunday.
He has a long history of friendly fire. But she also hates them because she's tied to an establishment that has done nothing but fail us time and time again.
Yes, please shit on the establishment. That works out very well for the outside. Jesus, thanks, Raphael. He would probably score the record for fast to be booed out of flappers. It's true.
You've heard the rhetoric from some of them over the last couple of weeks, and now you've seen that change very quickly.
Have you?
Because if there's one thing the Republican Party has been really good at over the last few decades, is snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah, it's not Trump's fault. It's not that he was a complete shit as a candidate. He didn't blow his chances. And why he didn't just run on a bunch of unforced errors. It wasn't because he was a fuck up. It's because the Republican Party just loses all the time. Never mind that they got Cheney and Bush reelected. They managed that. Reagan, of course, and he's saying multiple decades. So let's go to Reagan for 2 terms, followed by Bush for a term. So they locked it up for 12 years before your dad ever threw his hat in the ring. The Democrats had Clinton, but then they had the contract with America. The Republicans basically won back the Senate and the House and wasted it, spoiled it, obviously, but they definitely had control over the last probably 3 years of Clinton's presidency. And then, of course, Bush won with Cheney. They got reelected. Your dad didn't, though. That's weird.
They've caved to every special interest. They've caved to corporate America. They've caved.
they've caved to every special interest. Sorry, where's that big teachers union bend over and take it up the keister part?
Caved and bowed to the radical left that hates their guts, hates their values, and hates their freedoms.
So what the fuck good are they? Yeah, I agree, Don Jr. Why would anyone follow Republicans? Because all they do is lose.
Lincoln Project Liz is, as I'd like to call her, is the leader of that failed movement. And if we want to go back to losing,
her dad won twice. She's still in office. Your dad isn't.
If we want to go back to an America Last policy, we should be following that. But I don't, and I don't think anyone in this room does either.
Am I right?
So, you know what, guys?
You know what, guys?
The first 30 days has been a disaster.
Has it? Citation needed. Can I just, do you mind if I check something real quick? DTJ? Yeah. DTJ? We'll call him that. Sure. Why not? Let's see. I'll use a measure that he can actually take. You know what I mean? One that he'll understand. Let's see. News. Here's a disaster. From Investors Business Daily. When was this? This is today. 2 stocks turned $10,000 into $21,000 in 2 months. Just 2? Which ones were those? Probably like Antifa .org Incorporated and Racial Justice LLC. 4 S&P stocks, including energy. Marathon Oil, Twitter, Royal Caribbean, jumped 40% or more just in February. Yeah, that is kind of a disaster. That's shocking. I don't know. The whole thing's falling apart. Hold on. Maybe there was something else, though. You know what I mean? Maybe it's, let's see, vaccinations. That's probably going really badly. I got to check. I mean, this is obviously news to me. Let's see. Let's go to news on vaccinations. This is obviously going very poorly now. This is all changed. Walmart expands COVID-19 vaccines to 1,400 pharmacies in 35 states. Vaccination passion over time. Let's see. As new coronavirus strains spread, the CDC urges vaccination vigilance. Latest on the pandemic and vaccines. Let's see what that is. Okay. Let's see. Fully vaccinated people can gather individually with minimal risk, says Fauci. Yeah, there we go. Okay. At least one U.S. is subject to COVID-19 annual swabbing test. Hello. See, that sounds like bad news, but it's not. We still have too much vaccine in the fridge, says German health minister. That's pretty weird. India's 36 million doses. Queen Elizabeth urges the public to think about other people and get vaccinated. Majority of U.S. adults have been or want to get vaccinated as soon as possible in America. That's a change. That's up. FDA advisors consider third possible cause in vaccine Friday. That actually passed, so that's cool. Yeah, it sounds awful. This is a disaster, guys.
The lies the media told you wouldn't happen are all happening. But hey...
Wait, they told you the lies wouldn't happen and the lies are happening? Yes, the lies are happening. We're watching the lies happen. No one said CPAC was canceled.
At least they have a diverse cabinet. Right?
Right?
No, yeah, it's very...
By the way, that really helps with the remarks that Kimberly was making about minorities being an important part of it.
Diverse, that's what we saw, right? What is the policy of the SBA? Well, first and foremost, we appointed a woman. Well, that's wonderful. Is she competent?
Yes, she's competent. Why would you question whether she was competent? Why would you just question her if she's been nominated? They have reached a level where they're comfortable with her competency.
Because there's competent women and there's incompetent women, just like there's
Yeah, we know.
competent men and incompetent men.
Right? But nobody in the Biden administration is nominating incompetent people and then when they're asked about it, getting defensive and saying it's a woman.
We've seen that. We know that to be a fact. But when
Yes, we know that they're incompetent men. Your father is a good example.
you don't have policy to address the incompetence and think you can get away with it by just talking about diversity blindly, it's sort of a problem, isn't it?
That's great. I thought he was going to lose the train of thought and it was going to kind of drift. But that was rock solid, brother. That really, you know what I mean? I was like, is he going to be able to like nail it with a good zinger or an analogy at the end that makes us all feel like connected to this? But where was I? Is such a better ending. I don't know. It's amazing.
This month alone,
People are laughing at the lack of going anywhere this went.
they've banned the Muppets.
The Muppets weren't banned. Who's they? Disney Plus put a disclaimer on it because the shit's from the 70s and by our modern standards, it's a little saucy for kids.
Right?
They were added to Disney Plus.
I mean, if there's things that you thought were sort of above cancellation, you would be wrong. There is nothing
Well, you guys canceled Jesus.
the radical left won't cancel.
There isn't anything we won't cancel? Can the radical left self-cancel? That's amazing when that happens.
Hasbro now
Thanks, Maxwell.
wants a gender-neutral Mr. Potato Head.
They made one. Yeah, it's marketing. The line is called Potato Head. There's a Mr. Potato Head, there's a Mrs. Potato Head, and there's a Kid Potato Head. And then you can buy the family unit as a Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head with the kid, or you can buy a family unit with just 2 potato heads, and you can make them whatever you want. In case the kid has 2 moms or 2 dads, and they like the toy from Toy Story, and they don't get it and go, womp wah, why has it got him, See what I mean? Just makes them feel included. Nobody's being forced to do that. The line is now called Potato Head because there's a Mr. Potato Head, and there's a Mrs. Potato Head, and there's a Kid Potato Head, unless you believe that men and women and children should all be referred to as Mr., but that seems like something a pedophile would come up with.
These are the issues
Don Jr.'s arguing that he should be able to call a little boy Mr. and invite him into a van because he's an adult.
of our times, folks. I mean, if Hasbro really wanted a gender-neutral Mr. Potato Head so badly, they should just slap a picture of CNN's Brian Sletler on the cover of their next potato.
Brian Sletler? Really? That's the big zinger? Jesus Christ. This is just a reading of his father's grudges. I don't even know who wrote that, right? Are you right, okay? Am I right?
What?
What?
They don't call him
They don't call him Mr. Potato Head for nothing?
Mr. Potato Head for nothing. I mean, we might as well get something out of the branding.
People have referred to your father as Mr. Potato Body. Your father is Mr. Potato au gratin. His head looks like Mr. Potato Head with cheese.
But guys, we can talk about...
But guys, all jokes aside about people you probably don't know from CNN.
all of these things. We can talk about the liberal hypocrisy,
Then do it.
liberal privilege. Just look at how magically, in 33 days, children in cages turned into migrant shelters for children.
Yeah, but they're not being separated.
Now, Mind you, nothing actually changed. If you look at the pictures, there's nice bars on the walls. Nothing changed other than the media's outlook. Where is the outrage?
Well, the outrage will start as soon as we lose any of them. How about that? That'll be the standard. That'll be, especially when they're coming into Texas and they're limited facilities. But if we lose any of them and don't bother to have a plan to reunite them with their parents when they're deported, if that's what happens, or if they're not deported, the children are placed with parents and loved ones that are already in the country, which, following the rules of normal immigration wouldn't be all that hard, but would be obviously a heavy lift for the Trump administration, then we'll start bitching. How about that? Deal? Deal.
Outrage about this. Where is the outrage about an asinine immigration policy that is encouraging?
Yeah, this guy is allowed right across this guy comes in, they give him a pillow. This little boy, Mr. Mustache over here, why do we get everybody knows at Right Side that they're going to be watching Junior's speech, so the rule is you have to put up the Mike Pillow ad right next to that? God damn.
People to bring children, unaccompanied and otherwise.
Childrels. There's children.
Into a country. Guess who gets hurt? Our low-wage earners, who for the first time in modern history
have to compete with 8-year-olds?
Under Donald Trump, started seeing real wage growth.
No, they didn't. They absolutely did not. The wage growth came from the Obama administration, was on the rise. There was no direct spike. It leveled off, and then it crashed because of his mismanagement of COVID. But you'll have to ask the Childrels about that.
We see it time and time again. There's a double standard by which we live, but when you look at what's going on,
Yeah, what's the double standard? That let's say Clinton gets impeached for having a consensual sex act, and the entire Republican Party talks about how he besmirched the entire office of the presidency. And then your dad brags about sexually assaulting women and wanting to fuck your own sister, and that's okay by your standards now. So that's become it's not really a double standard. The Republicans just dropped all their standards, I think is what happened.
If people were informed of the actual facts, rather than spoon-fed a narrative by big tech and the mainstream media.
Well, don't leave me out of it. I'm doing my part to spoon feed people the big lie or the big liberal lie or what I don't know what the nickname is for it right now.
We wouldn't be in these things. There was a poll that...
Yeah, we wouldn't even be in these things, whatever these things are that we're talking about, these things.
Came out just this week that said 1 in 6 people would not have voted for Biden had they known about the Hunter Biden scandal. Yeah, where is Hunter?
He's working and he's with his kids and he was at the inauguration. You know what Hunter could do though is, obviously there's a tax investigation that your dad's Justice Department started while he was still in office to try to scuttle Biden's chances, and that should play itself out. And I feel like the Department of Justice will see to it that they follow the law, and if he needs to pay some extra taxes or if he was engaged in fraud, he should either have to pay a fine or do some jail time if that's how it works out. And the same rules should apply to your father.
Guys, I'm sure he's making billions in China right now. Don't worry. Don't worry.
That's supposed to be funny. And that's just jealousy, by the way, which is what you're watching there. Somebody's yelling, yeah, why is he even doing? How is he even in the White House in the first place?
1 in 6, guys. 17%.
1 in 6 what?
Of the 80 million that voted for Joe Biden wouldn't...
Well, I'm sorry, where was this poll from again? This guy I know at Rasmussen was doing a push poll. It was totally obliterated.
Had they even heard of the basics of his corruption?
Well, so the single most uninformed voters had never heard of these things. And if they had heard of these things, they what?
We were all talking about it, guys. It wasn't
Yeah, and no one was listening to you, apparently, on your side. What?
anything new, but that also shouldn't surprise us. We've been talking about...
By the way, why are we right side? Why are we, this is Don Jr. Why did you move him to half the screen? Are you guys just messing with? Thanks, Mike. Thank you very much.
Andrew Cuomo sentencing Nana to death for 10 months. But no one was going to talk about it until they got their wishes. No one was going to address Democrat incompetence. We believe all...
The left is going after him. We're not there. There's no circling of the wagons around Cuomo the way there is with Donald Trump. You guys, everybody on the right throws themselves into Donald Trump, between Donald Trump and consequences every time they can.
Leave all women until they accuse a Democrat. Then, not so much.
What?
But guys, that's why we have to stay engaged. That's why we have to stay...
Yeah, we have to stay engaged because someone is allegedly misusing the idea of believe all women, so we need to get my dad back in office. What?
in the
Holy
fight.
shit.
That's why we can't allow them to steamroll us like they have done for decades.
Yeah, we've been steamrolling you guys for decades. It was really the radical left that put Bush in office in the first place and got him reelected because they wanted the Iraq war. What?
When you look at what's going on just this week in Congress,
Thanks.
you have Democrats petitioning major corporations, Comcast, Amazon, to ban conservative news outlets. Not radical parties. Fox News, Newsmax, OAN, just ban them.
What? All right.
You don't see
I'm not going to chase his cocaine fever dreams. We'll just automatically chalk it up to him misunderstanding something one of the squad
Republicans
said.
saying, let's talk about
Newsmax or some like chat room that they extrapolate means all the way up to Fox so they can get on Fox and bitch about it.
CNN as a place of disinformation. I mean, as a recipient of their ire for a couple of years, I can assure you that they were lying about Russia collusion. We all know
No, you can't. You were part of it.
that now, but no one actually brings it up.
I brought it up. I just brought it up that you're lying again. That if it wasn't for Rod Rosenstein, they would have been able to follow the money, and the money was the key to the reasoning behind it. And then, of course, your dad said, release everything. And Mark Meadows literally had to go down there to court and say, no, he didn't mean it when he said declassify everything and release it all, especially the witness testimony. If you declassify any of it on the whim that he wanted it done that way, whatever you do, don't release the witness testimony because transparency.
Because they can get away with it. They are able to do.
Well, yeah, we can get away with it because we play ninth level chess and we're great at everything, and that's why the Affordable Care Act had a public option already in it. And we've been having it for years. I mean, most of us are on the public option.
Do that. Big tech.
I mean, it is a $15 minimum wage anyways, right?
Will silence you if you come out against it.
No, they won't. They just take their bullhorn back. You're not silenced. You can still talk. You're here. You're literally, this is being shown on 4 networks.
They will crush you. They will call you
Well, they'll crush you.
racist and everything else. Just like,
Your dad is racist, right? Just like what?
imagine, we'll bring back
Okay? Well, imagine.
Cuomo, right? Imagine Ron DeSantis did what Cuomo has done over the last couple of years. He wouldn't be getting an Emmy. He'd be in jail. Right? Credible.
No. I mean, literally, Florida has Medicare and Medicaid fraudsters in office currently.
Accusations of harassment swept under the rug. Verbal harassment swept under the rug. Hiding evidence from the DOJ swept under the rug. No problem.
But enough about the Trump administration.
Give him an Emmy. Remember Fredo?
What? Why is it an Emmy? I don't know. Did Cuomo get an Emmy for something? Was he on... Did he have a guest spot on 30 Rock?
When he was talking about it, for months. Oh!
Jesus.
Where's Fredo? He's so quiet these days. Why isn't Fredo talking about these things right now?
This is the CPAC gripe speech. Dude, you have 14 minutes.
Again, liberal brothers, no, we can't address that. Really? You can't address that. But
No, they are addressing it. Cuomo's in deep shit. He's having to deal with all of it at the same time. And rightly so.
you had no problem joking around with massive Q-tips, making clowns of yourselves for months prior.
What?
That's what we're up against, folks.
We're up against giant Q-tips? Huh?
But together, we can win these fights. We have to be vocal.
Yeah. Yes. I think in a fight between you and a giant Q-tip, I would give the edge to the Q-tip, and I think you would obviously come out of the fight covered in cotton and holding your ass. But, you might be able to take him.
Vocal. We can't be put in the corner. We must be out.
Yeah, we're like Baby in Dirty Dancing.
And engaged. And that's where you...
Oh, my God. He's congratulations. Don Jr.'s coming out of the closet.
You guys come in.
That's where you guys come in. You have to be out. What?
So, I'm looking forward to Sunday. I imagine...
Yeah, because you don't normally hear your dad speak. What?
I imagine it will not be what we call a low-energy speech.
Yeah, it might be, actually.
And I assure you that it will solidify Donald Trump and all of your feelings about the MAGA movement as the future of the Republic.
Oh, it's the BAGA movement now. I didn't realize that. Is that MAGA with a cocaine accent? BAGA? I didn't...
Solidify Donald Trump and all of your feelings about the MAGA movement as the future.
No, that was BAGA. That was definitely
that
BAGA.
It will solidify Donald Trump and all of your feelings about the MAGA movement as the future of the Republican Party.
What, Bake America Great Again? Bullshit America gradually again?
So thank you, CPAC. Thank you for being here. Thank you for...
Thank you, Baggots.
For the love. You guys are the best.
Thank you to Bilbo Baggins. Thank you. Yeah. Here's my song, and I'm gonna use a thumb up and a wave. Standing on a big Nazi symbol, gotta take it off, do a line.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you just...
Oh, it's just incredible. That was so beautiful. And we didn't even get to Ted Cruz. All right, I got to be there by 6, but I'll do a little bit of Ted Cruz, then we go, yeah. By the way, this music is straight from that Christian pastor who lost his record contract, and you can see why.
God bless CPAC.
Why is that a macho thing to say? Honestly, you look like a funhouse mirror. That's no fun.
I gotta say, Orlando is awesome. It's not as nice as Cancun.
Yeah, dude, people died. A 4-year-old froze to death. It's your watch, dickhead. Like, this is how, literally him being captain of the don't give a fuck team. This is gross. There's no mea culpa in this. He thinks this is owning the libs. Californians didn't die in the Texas freeze. New Yorkers didn't die in the Texas freeze. Pelosi voters didn't die in the Texas freeze. His constituents did. Texans.
but it's nice. And I gotta say, what an amazing array of speakers here at CPAC.
Yeah, shit you can't normally see everywhere.
For a second there, I thought we were in Des Moines.
That's a reference to Hawley speaking and him speaking, and that they're both going to be running for president. By the way, hashtag you cruise, you lose.
That one took people a minute.
Yeah, because it's they're not because they don't get it, but because they think it's funny that you actually think you're still in contention for running for president after your fuck up in Texas. You done, son?
We are gathered.
Oh, God.
In dark times.
What? Yeah, but we're in dark times. But let me joke about all the dead people in my state. All 56 plus of them. A lot of them haven't even thawed yet.
We're gathered at a time where the hard left...
It's not, you know what? It's not that dark. It's not like Texas during a winter storm.
Where the socialists control the levers of government.
No, they don't. Democrats do.
Where they control the White House, where they control every executive branch, where they...
And why is that? Obviously, I know you're calling them socialists, and they're not, but, you know, why do Democrats control every executive branch, which there's only one executive branch? This is a three-branch government. How many executive branches are there? All right. But let's give them all three branches of the government. Yeah, it's because the voters gave that to them. The voters don't trust you.
Where they control both houses of Congress.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Bernie is wearing mittens.
Ah, fuck, dude. He's trying to be cute.
And AOC is telling us she was murdered.
No, her life was under threat. There are people at CPAC that want to kill her. I guarantee there are people in the audience watching Ted Cruz right now that have either sent a death threat or thought about sending a death threat to AOC. This was supposed to be going so much better.
And the media desperately wants to see a Republican civil war.
Yeah, we saw it. I mean, all they have to do is tune into CPAC and watch Don Jr.'s speech and Kimberly's speech and Josh Hawley's speech. Like two people. No. Everybody else like, yeah, we need one. We got to purge some of these people.
Liberty is under assault, and what are we going to do? I'll tell you. We will fight.
Wait, didn't you guys just play an entire fight? Oh, God. Somebody just booed.
Listen to William Wallace.
What? Somebody yelled freedom in the back, and that's the thing.
And let me tell you, the media here looks at the men and women gathered here, at the young people gathered here, as dangerous radicals.
No. There's a lot of saps and grifters there too. I mean, I don't think the dangerous radicals are actually there. I think a lot of them are taking like kind of cues from the folks that are there. But they're averages. They're just a bunch of kind of like soft racist assholes.
This is the Rebel Alliance.
The what? Oh, I see. No, you can't be the Rebel Alliance and have your former candidate have the Death Star.
And Vader and the Emperor
are playing golf in Mar-a-Lago right now?
And let's be clear, they're not your father.
What? What?
Are terrified of the rebels who are here, and I'm proud to tell you, Gina Carano is standing with us.
What? First of all, I thought you assholes rejected Hollywood. And now that she's making a Ben Shapiro movie, you're kissing her ass. How does that make you and what did the rebels do? They blew up the Death Star. So is the Capitol the Death Star now? Is that what it is? It only takes a couple of us. It's not good against, they're not expecting a small attack like this.
So what do we do? What do we do at a time?
Yeah, what do you do?
Where the
you go on vacation to Mexico, you put on a little weight.
hard left is resurgent. Two very simple things. Number one, we defend.
I wouldn't say the hard left is resurgent. I would just say that the right is having a hardness issue right now and has gone soft.
Liberty. Look, are there tensions in our party? Sure.
Yeah, sure. I mean, some people want to actually serve their constituents. Others want to let them fucking freeze. And that's that's going to obviously be something we have to work out.
Because we believe in diversity. We believe
That's what it is.
in individuality. Different people have.
Yeah, diversity, individuality. Like if I was to show up at CPAC and present my ideas, you would listen intently and you would welcome the criticism and the humor and the ideas on how to get to a $15 minimum wage or raise it in areas, that kind of idea, which would obviously fit in with 5% of the American public. Obviously, the majority of Americans, including Republicans, actually are for it. So why wouldn't you sit down and listen? I mean, diversity being what it is.
People have different views. We aren't the Borg.
What, dude? You were just in Star Wars. Now you're in Star Trek. Like, seriously, you're talking to a bunch of. Make some TikTok references.
Forcing. Okay, I may have committed a cardinal sin mixing Star Wars and Star Trek. That. Next thing you know, you're going to cross.
It's not a cardinal sin. You're just dumb and
Cross the streams, and the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man's going to come. We were just too many terrible references there.
See, Crossing the Streams got rid of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
We don't believe in uniformity, but I'll tell you.
You also don't believe in pop culture.
What can unite conservatives and libertarians and those who value the Constitution and the Bill of Rights is a love of liberty.
Yeah, I have that, but I also understand that you manage it because I don't think people should have the liberty to post death threats or naked pictures of children. And I know we disagree on that, Ted. I know you're for that because give me liberty and violent threats and naked kids, or give me death, I think is what your back tattoo says. Define liberty, because you obviously don't mean no stoplights.
And the left, they tell you who they are.
Yes, I do. I tell you who I am.
Particularly in a global pandemic. As Rahm Emanuel said, you never want to waste a good crisis. And hoo boy, these guys don't want to waste it. You see statists in California putting 37 tons of sand in a skate park because ain't nobody having fun.
Well, they don't want people to die during this. They'll dig it out.
While the socialists are in charge.
Yeah, that's the big... Yeah, that's why Beto did so well, skateboarding, because we're the anti-skateboarding party.
We see Bill de Blasio in New York sending people in to shut down parks and to throw young Orthodox Jewish kids out of the parks because, God forbid,
they catch a disease and spread it through the entire community, and the death rates and hospitalization rates were spiking in that area. And God forbid we, Ted, miss a chance to kill a bunch of Jews?
Children have fun.
I'm sorry? It was the fun part?
We see leftists across the country shutting down churches.
No, they shut down all public gatherings by volume because of the danger of contagion, and especially because the majority of people who go to church are over 65. You wouldn't even think you would have to do that. It's only the asshole churches that buck that at all.
California, they've helpfully explained. You can go out and protest. You can scream and yell. Abolish the police.
Yeah, outside. Nobody can stop you in that regard. But as far as indoor public gatherings, that's something that the state actually can monitor.
And this virus, magically, no one will get infected.
No, that was a concern.
You can French kiss the guy next to you, yelling, "Abolish the police." And no
Gay stuff.
one will get infected. But if you go to church and say Amazing Grace,
You don't say Amazing Grace, you sing it.
everyone's going to die.
No, not everyone. Just 7% of the populace, and possibly 20% of the church, depending on the age of the parishioners. I mean, this is all gaslighting.
By the way,
but
how many of y'all have
meanwhile, they're still finding frozen dead bodies in Texas.
eaten at a restaurant in the last 6 months? Can I just stop and say how strange the rules are right now? I want to understand how this virus works. So when you walk in, you got to put your mask on. Sadly, I've got two. You walk.
Yeah, one with Texas on it in case you get caught fucking around and you have to wear it on your walk of shame.
Walk in, you got to put your mask on. You sit down, you take your mask off.
Right. The tables are separated. There's a 6-foot distance between you when you're seated, but since people are milling around or walking, you wear your mask when you enter. You're also engaging with the host or hostess, which is a speaking conversation, and they're wearing a mask as well. Then you go to your table, you order with your masks on, they bring you the food, you eat with your mask off.
See, apparently the virus is actually connected to elevation. No, remember, this is all about science. It's actually, it may not be elevation. I think it's that there are hormones that are released in your thighs when you're sitting. So you can sit at the table and there's no virus being transmitted.
So at this point, Ted Cruz is full-on COVID truther. This whole conversation, this whole thing, is he just believes, he thinks COVID's fake.
But if you stand up, put the mask on!
That's because you'd be going to the bathroom or some other place, or you're interacting with other people. You would be moving closer to them, whereas the tables are already separated and the distance helps. You also need proper ventilation and the like.
And listen, let's be clear. This is a dangerous virus.
Apparently not. Why would you say such a thing? Clearly this is bullshit.
But these
And that got a laugh.
collectivist statists, okay, now they're saying everybody can get immunized. We can have herd immunity everywhere, and we're going to wear masks for the next 300 years.
No. I mean, I like a good exaggeration joke, but seriously, dude, you're open micing it right now.
And by the way, not just one mask, 2, 3, 4. You can't have too many masks. How much virtue do you want to signal?
So wearing masks is virtue signaling. This is important.
This is just dumb.
Not as dumb as going to Cancun in the middle of a winter storm while your constituents die, but please, this is good shtick. Yes, by the way, I would agree with Ted Cruz that wearing 100 masks, you can never have enough masks, would be stupid. That would be dumb. If anybody had actually said that.
You know, the U.S. Capitol has giant fences with razor wires and 5,000 National Guard standing out front.
Because of March 4th and the QAnon people who want to blow it up?
Because the Democrats are convinced
that March 4th is a real threat, and after the Capitol attack on the 6th, they should take that seriously?
Political theater helps them.
It's political. Why does that help them? What political theater? I think security helps them. Why do you have security at CPAC, Ted? Why'd you leave one of your bodyguards behind to feed your dog? Did it help the dog?
Let's be clear. This is not about security at this point. This is about political theater. Half
What part of why is it political theater?
the country, the deplorables are dangerous.
No. A specific subset. If you put, I mean, we had wire around buildings after the Oklahoma City bombing for a while as well, because of threats.
And they're going to turn the Capitol into a military outpost in Baghdad just to have their compliant media echo that message. But do you know what terrifies every one of these statists?
Working with you and you without your mask, your breath carrying across the room, your haircut, that's what it was.
The truth.
Oh, I see. That was the next best thing.
Liberty's powerful. Liberty's persuasive. Liberty is fun.
Isn't it?
Last week.
It's, so is your lungs filling with glass.
We lost the great Rush Limbaugh. I was so blessed and so fortunate to call Rush a friend.
Well, yeah, I mean, he doesn't have very many, and you guys got to stick together because nobody else wants to say that about you either.
And Rush understood.
By the way, Ted has a lot of dead friends because as soon as people die, he's like, we were so close because no one is alive and close to him.
The power of liberty. Before there was Hannity, before there was Tucker, before there was Ben Shapiro or Steven Crowder, before
there was the KKK.
There was Donald Trump. There was Rush Limbaugh.
What? Doing what? Yeah, there was Joe McCarthy.
And before there was Section 230, there was something called the Fairness Doctrine.
Wait a minute. So we need to put the Fairness Doctrine back? First, we're attacking giant corporations. Who are you and what have you done with CPAC?
Which gave leftists in Washington the power to silence views they didn't like. We got rid of the Fairness Doctrine.
What? What? Huh?
And Rush Limbaugh started by going on one AM station. And then a second AM station, and then a third, and then a fourth, and then a fifth. And the voice of liberty spread like prairie fire.
Yeah, spread by the Heritage Foundation, which paid for all those shows and paid his salary.
And let me tell you right now.
Because he was a PR arm of the Republican Party. Oh, I am going to be late. I got to go.
In Los Angeles.
Tell you what, I'm going to pick up some of this later when I get back because I got to run. And I got to go do a project for my girlfriend. I will also have some of this, obviously, tomorrow on the radio show. So those of you that don't see me later because it's crazy hours or something for you, I'll see you guys in the morning. Anybody else, if I jump back on late tonight, if it's not too late when we're done, I have no idea when it's going to be finished. I'm just there to help. I'll see if I can hop back on and finish some of this. And then there's just so much stuff. Like, I'm never even going to... I mean, there's so much stuff. So anyways, you guys are awesome. I will see you guys later. Thanks for sticking around with me. And thank you guys for, the new YouTube memberships are up and running. Thank you guys who've joined. I didn't really know what to make of those things. I know it has value for some folks and it's a way people can show their, support. And so thanks for using it if it's your thing. Same thing with Twitch subscriptions and the like. Thank you, Robin. And thank you guys for the super chats today. It was really, I'm eternally grateful. That is so nice of you. And thank you for supporting the show just with your eyeballs, just being here. It's really kind of awesome. I gotta go. I'm gonna do a Midwestern goodbye, and then I'm gonna be late, and then I'm gonna be okay. I'll see you later. You guys are awesome.